All right, guys, welcome back into another PGA DFS video. Gonna get into the breakdown of the Dell Technologies match play, kind of the cut sweat there, if you will. Then we'll also break down that cut sweat of the Corrales Punta Cana Resort and Club Championship. But first, I do want to show you guys another new tool there available at 905sports.com. I'll show you guys that first here real quick. All right, so we have it pulled up here. It's a pretty simple tool. This is my specialist page. A lot of people would consider this like a custom models page. I'm going to consider it a specialist page. So it has all the 2021 data loaded up in there. So if you want to see how a player has been doing, you can check that out. Pretty much given the course conditions and whatnot. So let's say if you want to, I don't know, look up Dustin Johnson, for instance, you can see that. So we'll pull him up. And then it gives you guys his starts, and this is going to be over the last 28 days. So as we can see, he has been playing some of his worst golf this season over the last 28 days. He has not been improving really anywhere over the last 28 days. Then we can scroll down to the bottom here. We have all of his strokes gained total stats as well as his scoring stats as well. Then we can see kind of which courses have been, or which course designers have been his best courses. And then we can see, which weather conditions he plays well at. We can see putting surfaces, and then we can see just average place. But you could also use this tool then to compare two players as well. So let's say you want to compare Justin Thomas and Dustin Johnson. You guys could do that easily as well. Scroll down to the bottom, and we got a pretty strong comparison there as well. It's just an awesome tool that you guys can use however you guys see fit. And then if you just want to pull up, hey, I just want to look at Bermuda greens. Let's see how those two have done in Bermuda green events. Well, here we go. All right, Justin Thomas has been playing much better at those events that have Bermuda greens. So just another tool there available for you guys on 905 Sports. But now let's get into that kind of recap of the Dell Technologies match play. So kind of a fun thing here. A lot of the events did end up going into some playoffs. Right now, John Rahm, Ryan Palmer in a playoff. We had Max Homa, Billy Horschel in a playoff. Billy Horschel came through. One of the few picks I got right, it seems like. Xander Schauffele versus Scotty Scheffler. And Scotty Scheffler, dude's been looking skinnier. I don't know if you guys saw his Twitter post. Dude's lost some weight there. So good for him. Bubba and Neiman are in a playoff right now. Sergio, that hole-in-one winner, that was pretty freaking awesome. Brian Harman versus Patrick Cantlay. I think Brian Harman is pretty much locking that one up right now, hopefully. That'd be big for me. And then Kevin Streelman beating Abraham Manser, that was kind of huge. And then we got Daniel Berger versus Eric Van Rooyen. Just kind of some good stuff there. We'll look at the bracket here. The thing that's crazy about the bracket is that the one worry that I had this week was that a lot of the top end players might just be overlooking it just due to the fact that the Masters were really right around the corner. And I was worried that, a lot of those big name golfers, they don't really care about this event too much. It's whatever to them. And we kind of seen that come through. And I think that might be the biggest takeaway this week is that these lower end guys just cared a little bit more on each shot, if you will. And that's kind of why they were able to convert. I mean, the top seed so far that has advanced is Tommy Fleetwood, and he was the 21st. And he honestly kind of got lucky, to be honest. Bryson really kind of let him win that one. Bryson really choked a lot there. He struggled this week. Just kind of crazy. WGC events, they're just not that fun to predict. They're fun to watch, though. And obviously, match play type events are fun to play in. Just not one that you really want to be playing DFS in too much. Now, that being said, there is an event that you do want to play DFS in, and that is going to be the Corrales Punta Cana Resort and Club Championship. That one is a good event, and we are doing pretty well on that one. A lot of the chalk hit, and I think that's kind of one of the problems with, I guess, me being one of the main content producers for the alternative field event is that a lot of the players that we were on ended up being chalk, and they all hit, which good for us there, but also everyone was able to take advantage of that as well. And that just saying that the day that 9 to 5 starts to really change ownership levels is the day that I will be sad, because when that starts to happen is everyone's going to start doing a little bit better here and there, which would be unfortunate for, us as a whole, because when everyone has an edge, no one has the edge. But let's get into it here, guys. All right, so I'm just going to sort it by percent owned real quick just to show you guys what I mean. So Charlie Hoffman made cut. The first miscut is Brandon Wu, who, he shouldn't end up being like 14%. Probably should have been more or less like 5%. Lee Hodges ended up making the cut. Lucas Herbert missed the cut, but he was like 10%. Luke List ended up withdrawing, which I don't know how or why people would have ended up on him, but really everyone else dominated. It's pretty spectacular that all the chalk hit. So like around 20% of lineups currently have 6 out of 6 across the cut line, which is a huge number. And I think most members of 9 to 5 have at least double that, though, which is spectacular. I know me personally, I'm sitting at about like 60% of lineups with 6 out of 6. So could be a fun weekend there. But let's just sort it here. We'll go back to place and we'll see kind of how everything's looking. So Justin's our core play, the cover boy, he's doing well, tied for first, and outright bet, core play. It'd be a nice 9 to 5 win if Justin Suh could go out and take this down, because one, we've been on him for a while, so it'd be awesome to see, and obviously we're on him this week, so that'd be pretty sweet to see Justin Suh go out and win. Fully expecting that. And then if we just kind of scroll down to the bottom as well, he is the guy that's going to be expected to win as well. He's number 1 heading into round 2. He's number 1 heading into round 3 as well, and we'll get into that. But kind of just looking at Rafael Campos, not really shocking that he's doing that well. Is that Fabrizio? I honestly don't know if that's how you say his name. He was kind of popping a little bit for me. I didn't want to end up on him. He was like one of the last few players that I left it out, which he was kind of a shoulder shrug play. If I had done that, he would have been a shoulder shrug play. Tyler Duncan, he was catching my eye a little bit. Graham McDowell, a former winner. Michael Glick. That's kind of surprising. Roberto Castro, he typically does well at events like this as well. Andrew Yan, I don't know if you guys saw that story, but his wife is due for their firstborn, and he's playing in this tournament. Okay. So like, can she really be mad if he goes out and wins this tournament? Honestly, like, hey, sorry, I got my tour card for a few more years. We're going to be secure for a life here. Sorry, I had to miss the birth of our firstborn. It's kind of a weird, balancing act there. Like, I don't think his wife can be mad at him if he wins this week, but he has to win this week. So kind of an interesting storyline there, but really, this is a really highly predictable tournament, and we've kind of seen that, kind of the last few years. The alternative field events are just fun. Once these start to get normalized, it's going to be great going forward. Let's just talk about the showdown picks. So the showdown picks for you guys did well yesterday. If you guys had done pretty much your main 9 to 5 player pool with round 1 showdown, you would have done well as well. So far, so good there. But let's just get into those round 3 showdown picks. And I find it so weird, guys, that people don't care as much about the Corrales tournament just because it's the alternative field event. One, this is a tournament that we are very used to playing in, type of event. People should care just as much about this than the match play tournament. Actually, it's more fun to me than the match play tournament. The match play is fun to watch, but in terms of DFS, I will never be able to wrap my head around why people don't pay more attention to this tournament, because it's what we're used to. It's the easiest to predict. I don't get it. I think, the golf community has kind of gotten a bad rap on like Twitter and social media, that they're always super negative. I honestly think that's why they like the WGC event. It's just a negative event. It promotes that so much more than any other event, because people like it when, I guess, people are wrong. I don't know. It's weird. But let's just get into those round 3 showdown picks. So Campos popping up for round 3 showdown. That's a little bit surprising. We got Emiliano Grillo. I really like this. So for round 3 showdown, you do want to target those players that had that morning tee time. So Emiliano Grillo kind of struggled there. He's going to have that morning tee time. He struggled in round 2, so we definitely expect him to have a much better round 3. Yeah, I really like Emiliano Grillo there. Ryan Brem, he snuck in and made the cut. Actually didn't play too terribly today. Just needs to get a little bit better there in a couple of spots of his game. Definitely his best round so far this year, so I like him. You could go back to the well with Justin Suh if you want. Seb Straka, I'm not exactly sure if I want to do that. He kind of had his regression back to the norm round where he struggled in round 1. shot -4 today. So I don't know if I exactly want to chase that with him. Charlie Hoffman, maybe not. Chase Seifert, though. I could definitely see Chase Seifert, 51st. He's going to have that morning tee time. One of his better rounds, top 15 in the model. I like that. He's the guy that should go out and play a little bit better. Let's just sort of see if we can get some, longer shot plays. Maybe Josh Teeter, Bryce Garnett. I'd be fine with Bryce Garnett. That's a play that does make sense. I'll pull him up here. Yeah, I can see that. Fine with Bryce Garnett as a play. All right, so now let's reset that and let's show you guys who is going to win this tournament. And it is kind of something, after the first 2 rounds, you can really get a good picture of who is most likely to win. That's kind of why we do it this way. So gotta take some of these guys out here that, just don't qualify. There's going to be a lot of them for this tournament, honestly, just because we don't have that much data on everyone in this tournament. There's a lot of players that just don't have that many quality rounds under their belt. So I'm just going to uncheck Richard there out of here. All right. So we can see Justin Suh, most likely to win. One by far. It's kind of, we can show you guys again. Top 6 in the model, top 3 stat fit, really strong, just all around game. It's just he's kind of due for a win. He's been playing well this whole year. Good player. I like it. Seb Straka, 2nd. Let's see why. Once again, he kind of had that bad round 1. Played well in round 2. Top 8 in the model, not surprising there. Thomas Peters, not surprising there. Are there any real surprises here? I mean, Justin Suh on the betting card, Seb Straka on the betting card, Charlie Hoffman on the betting card, Sam Ryder on the betting card, Roger Sloan on the betting card, Bryce Garnett on the betting card. And then Thomas Dietrich and Thomas Peters, both 1st and 2nd in terms of DraftKings salary. So really no shocks here at all. A lot of people on Peter Uline too. And, I didn't end up on him. I felt like that was more of a trap play at his price point, but he obviously worked out. So really no surprises there at all. And that to me is the surprise. I am kind of curious. We'll look at the top 10 and just kind of see who is due to regress the most. Andrew Yan obviously doesn't have that many starts. Graham McDowell not expected to continue to play well, but that's really it. So could be a nice little stretch here for the Corrales Punta Resort and Club Championship. That is all I have for you guys for this video. I know you guys like that new transition right there. That took me a good half an hour there last night. It was a nice transition for you guys. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. If you guys want to join 9 to 5 Nation, the link is in the description below. You do get that new beta tool there that I showed you guys at the beginning of this video as well. All right, thanks for watching, guys. And as always, let's keep cashing. And we better have that nice weekend stretch here with that Corrales. All right, thanks for watching, guys.